Welcome back to Jane's Stories of Life. I'm trying a new angle for a few minutes today because I want to show you I'm wearing what I call one of my identity shirts. This is a t-shirt that I had made that shows some things about me. I call myself a memory keeper. You know, I talk about memories, and my shirt shows some of the ways that I love to keep memories. I love taking pictures. I love making scrapbooks. I do digital books. I've written 2 books, and I am a scrapbooker from way back. And so today I'm wearing my identity shirt because I want to talk today about memories, about Thanksgiving, and things related to passing those memories on, so that when you're with your families or with your friends over the holidays, you don't just pass the mashed potatoes. You don't just share the sweet potatoes. I want you to also think about sharing memories and certainly making new ones. So I will now put this back in the regular position because I'm not good at holding this selfie stick. But there's my Jane Memory Keeper identity shirt that I'm wearing today for today's video. Be right back. Okay, I'm back now to talk about Thanksgiving. By this time next week, you'll all be, maybe some of you, maybe not all, will be still stuffed like that turkey that maybe you had last Thursday. There's a lot of preparation that goes into Thanksgiving. There's a lot of special memories that may be made at that meal because so many families gather together. And I just wanted to share some thoughts about that. I grew up, it's just my mom and I, and so every Thanksgiving, she made sure that she invited someone who would otherwise be alone on that day. So we always had company for Thanksgiving dinner. As a matter of fact, one of our guests one year was Morgan. 2 weeks after that wonderful blind date that Mother Cupid had helped to arrange, Morgan had Thanksgiving dinner with us. And, it's a time when sometimes families get together. Sometimes you're alone at Thanksgiving. Sometimes there are a few friends that gather. But there are a variety of things that maybe you remember about a Thanksgiving. One of the things I know that often happen when families get together, not just families, when there's a group of mixed generations, different ages that get together. There are so many different experiences that I hope that people will cherish not just the candied yams, but cherish the time and spend time talking about the past. Spend time thinking about how things maybe have changed. Ask questions, especially to the older generation. These days, a lot of things are lost because people have not shared. I have mentioned before, and I'm going to say it again, one of our cousins, T.C. Adams, was the inspiration for me to go ahead and write I had already written a lot of my memories, but my first book. Because T.C. said to me at one of our family get-togethers, Jane, you don't need to take those stories to your grave. And so many of our experiences are not passed on. And so I'm encouraging you, whatever you do this year during the holiday season, and really throughout the year, cherish those memories. Pass them along with those potatoes. Ask questions. We've had a number of Thanksgivings that were memorable. There were two Thanksgivings when we lived in upstate New York. We lived in Schenectady. Our first No, our second Thanksgiving there, we were snowed in. We had 20 some inches of snow, I guess, and our car was in the garage and there was no way to get it out. We were the only house on a dead end street. The snow had not been plowed, and I had not prepared. We had been invited to the Harris family for Thanksgiving dinner. I had no preparation in mind, so we had hamburgers that year. We had, the two babies, 14, 15 months and 3 months old, and they had their food. Morgan and I had hamburger that year for Thanksgiving because that's what I had in the freezer. One other year, and that was probably 1989 or 1988, both of our children were in college. Cindy was in Virginia, John was in North Carolina, and that year we had decided to do something totally different. We were going to drive and meet each other in D.C. and spend Thanksgiving in D.C. Well, that part of the East Coast had ice storms, and we didn't want our children driving from Virginia and North Carolina in ice storms, so we canceled that idea. That time I had a couple of frozen chicken breasts in the freezer, which I pulled out. I had done nothing else because we weren't going to be there. As it turns out, both children at that point lived in apartments with roommates, and both sets of their roommates had managed somehow. They had turkey dinner. They had the works. And here we were eating this one little, maybe we had 2 chicken breasts, but I don't think we had much. And I had to laugh. I was so worried. As a matter of fact, I cried about the fact that we weren't going to be together and our poor children were stuck in here, blah, 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 blah. They were fine. So, any day is what you make it. And those were just some of the funny things that happened in my Thanksgiving memories. There was, for some people, the thing after the Black Friday thing, family members or friends get up at 4 a.m. to hit the mall. No, I've never been ready to do that. I'm just looking at a few of the things that I wrote down that I just wanted to share. But I guess that's the main thing. I really just wanted to talk about making a day of sharing, no matter what. Some holidays can be tough, especially when it's the first holiday when there may be an empty seat where a loved one used to sit. And I know the first of those holidays is very hard. I know I was, Morgan died in 2020. And so by that Thanksgiving, COVID had hit and everything was kind of shut down. And I was alone. I was by myself. I don't use the term alone. I'm sorry. Let me take that word back. I never used the term alone. I was by myself. I think I ordered some food from some restaurant. It was pitiful. It was sad. I picked it up the day before, and it was pitiful. And it was tough, and it's tough. Not all memories, holiday memories, are good ones. And we have to acknowledge that, we make the best of whatever we experienced, and hopefully as we continue through life, maybe we can do something different with our lives, with our families, with our friends. But no matter what, we have to be thankful for the things that we have. I was thinking this morning, there's a song we used to sing in church, count your blessings, count them one by one. Count the many blessings that God has done. We don't have everything we might wish we had. I'd love to win the lottery, but I don't buy lottery tickets. I depend on the Lord for for things. I am not going to, depend on my luck, so to speak. But we just have to be grateful because life is short. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. We don't know if we will be here tomorrow or who will be in our tomorrows. But we make the best of each day, cherish the memories that we have and share them, pass them on, pass the memories, make each day a day of Thanksgiving. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. So that's it for today. Cherish your memories and pass them on.